4 men died the night before the eviction. 300 families were saved. I was arrested for their murders. I did not tell them what I heard. Origin Protocol. Witness File 004, Classification, Echo Class Entity. Case Status, Unresolved. The following testimony was recorded in County Clare, February 1891. The witness was 62 years old. He had not spoken of these events in 44 years. He agreed to speak only after being told that Origin Protocol already knew what killed them. He said, "Then you know I did not do it." We said, "Yes." He said, "Then you know I should have." February 1847. The famine was in its second year. In County Clare, 1 in 4 had already died or emigrated. We were lucky, we thought. Our village had been spared the worst. The Brennan family held their plot. The O'Brien family. The Connollys. The Maguires. We were behind on rent. Everyone was behind on rent. But Thomas Hartley was a fair man, people said. The land agent for the Barton estate. He had delayed the evictions twice already. He rode into the village on February 3rd with 3 bailiffs. He told us the delay was over. 312 families. 4 days to vacate. He said it with great professional sorrow. We believed his sorrow was genuine. He was, we thought, a man doing a terrible job with appropriate regret. We were wrong about Thomas Hartley. The first death was on February 5th. Caitlin Maguire. 71 years old. Found dead in her cottage in the morning. Natural causes, the constabulary said. Then Patrick O'Brien. 63. Heart failure, they wrote. Then young Declan Connolly. 26. Same. Within 4 days, 7 people had died. The village was in pieces. These were not the weakest among us. These were heads of families. People who had survived 2 years of famine. The wailing began on the 4th night. A sound from outside the village. Not like any woman I had ever heard. My grandmother called it by its name. She said, "Do not go outside." She said, "It is not crying for them." I did not understand what she meant. I thought it was crying with us. I grieved for those 7 people genuinely. I believed they had been taken too soon. February 9th. Thomas Hartley was found dead in his room at the inn. The 3 bailiffs were found dead in the stable. All 4 died of heart failure, the physician recorded. Exactly 12 hours after the wailing had been loudest. The Irish constabulary arrived from Ennis the following morning. They arrested me. They arrested Cole Maguire. They arrested Father Donahue. Suspected murder, they said. Hartley and his men had been poisoned, they believed. We had motive enough. 300 families about to lose everything. I was furious. I had heard something that night. I had seen something at the field's edge. I said nothing. I believed the entity had killed 7 innocent people. I was not going to protect a thing that had taken Caitlin Maguire and Declan Connolly. I was going to tell them everything. Then they showed me the paper. The constable was trying to establish motive. He placed a document on the table. A letter from Hartley to the Barton estate solicitor. Dated January 14th. 3 weeks before the evictions were announced. The letter listed 63 families. Not for eviction. Marked as paid. Safe. The constable did not understand what he was showing me. He thought it proved conspiracy. I read the list. The Maguires were on it. The O'Briens. The Connollys. Declan Connolly. Caitlin Maguire. Every name on Hartley's safe list was dead. I sat very still. Hartley had been taking money from families desperate to stay, then placing them on the eviction list anyway, pocketing the bribes and condemning them regardless. The 7 who died were not the innocent. The 7 who died had sold their neighbors. Caitlin Maguire had taken money for the names of 8 families in hiding. Declan Connolly had provided the locations of 3 Wibyong-like resistance groups. I had grieved for them. I would not grieve for them again. The constable was still talking. I was no longer listening. I was thinking about the wailing I had heard. The sound of it. My grandmother had said, "It does not cry for them." She meant it does not mourn the dying. She meant it comes for those who owe a debt to the dead. The thing I had seen at the field's edge had looked at me. I had been standing there in the dark. It had looked at me and moved on. I had provided water and potatoes to families in hiding for 3 months. I had told no one. The entity had known. It had judged me. And found me not owing. I told the constable I had seen nothing. I had heard nothing. I had been inside all night with my family. Father Donahue confirmed it. Colm Maguire confirmed it. We were released on March 1 for lack of evidence. The 312 families were never evicted. The Barton estate, without Hartley, did not pursue it. The Barton estate sent a new agent in April. A younger man. He renegotiated the rents downward. He did not explain why. I believe Hartley's letters had reached the estate solicitor. I believe the estate understood what the letters contained. I believe they were afraid of what would happen if those letters became public. The constabulary investigation was quietly closed in June. No charges were ever filed. Origin protocol records indicate the wailing was heard once more that summer. A single night. Near the home of the estate solicitor who had received Hartley's letters. He died of heart failure the following morning. He had been aware of what Hartley was doing. He had permitted it. His death was recorded as natural causes. It was, I think, the most natural thing in the world. I am 62 years old. I have heard the wailing twice since 1847. Once in 1867 near a landlord's agent in Limerick. Once in 1879 near a judge in Dublin who had sentenced 17 men to transportation on false testimony. Both men died of heart failure. Both deaths were recorded as natural. Origin protocol has told me the entity remains active. They have shown me the file. Echo class. Danger level, active. I said, "Is that all you have to say about it?" They said, "It has killed people who were innocent." I said, "Has it? Show me one." They were quiet for some time. Then they asked, "Do you believe it is dangerous?" I said, "I believe it is owed. I believe there are still debts outstanding. I believe it will collect them." I said, "Do not get in its way." I said, "I certainly will not."